Bath in England is the destination now for a lesson in the art of breaststroke and the importance of quality training.
I'm Michael Jamieson, Scottish and Olympic medalist in the 200 metres breaststroke. I'm 26 now, so in swimming terms that's kind of middle age. The Rio Olympics are just over a year away now, so preparation for that's in full swing. Breaststroke was always my #1 stroke, and I was always kind of drawn to the stroke. It picked me in a sense. I think the technique of the stroke is my main strength, maintaining that effective streamline position and travelling through the water with as least resistance as possible.
Michael Jamieson's training is overseen by Dave McNulty, performance head coach at Bath ITC, whose job it is to design the perfect training program for his athlete.
Normally you find with breaststroke, the swimmer is just a breaststroker because it's so technically different to all the others. You can train a lot on it or you can train all the quality bits on it, and that's what we do here at Bath. We do all of the quality work on your #1 stroke. So Michael, for example, might do a lot of work on freestyle and medley when he's doing endurance type work, but when he comes through all the fast quality stuff, it'll all be done on his stroke.
Training on the other strokes gives you a degree of suppleness as well. I swim around 60 kilometres a week now, so it's quite a strain on the body, and just swimming one stroke, if I was to swim that breaststroke, it would be really quite taxing, especially on my back and upper arms.
Sometimes, if you do a bit too much of it, it gets a little bit sloppy and some bad habits come in. So we'll always keep it fresh, keep it quality, and we'll break the stroke down a lot to practice smaller parts of the stroke. If anything's out, or your head's up, or your hands are separated, you'll just stop. But the good thing on breaststroke is if you keep a real tight alignment and it's streamlined, you'll travel. And we call them free games. The more efficient you are there, the less strokes you'll do, the less rates you'll do. You'll have more energy to bring the race back. So you can spend time rating or you can spend time in streamlined position. And it's very, very important, especially on breaststroke.
The most technical of the 4 swimming disciplines, breaststroke is all about timing, precision, and power. It's critical that Jamieson maintains the correct mechanics to gain an advantage.
Swimming is all about being as hydrodynamic as possible, and breaststroke as a movement makes that quite difficult. You go from a streamlined position lying on top of the water. The first movement is an out sweep with your hands and your arms. You go out to just beyond shoulder width, and then it's a powerful in-sweep motion where you're trying to generate as much strength through that movement as possible to lift your body out of the water, and that's where the breathing phase comes in. So as you're in that kind of upright position, you take your breath, and then the leg kick movement comes in, so you bring your heels up to your bum together, and then they turn outwards almost like a frog. Your ankles kind of whip round together, and that kind of takes you forward back into the streamlined position. The head position has to be really precise as well. It kind of follows the principles of the rest of the stroke. Your head has to be in line, and an easy marker is to have your ears squeezed in between your biceps in that streamlined phase. If I'm swimming during a race and I have my head lifted too high and it's kind of out of line, it creates a huge bubble of resistance, and that obviously slows me down and creates a deceleration. The most common mistake is mistiming. If the timing's out of sync, even just a fraction, because of the inefficiency of the position you're in during the stroke, it can slow you down quite significantly. And that's something that even now I still work on and try to improve. It's such fine margins, and the tiniest change in that can have a real huge effect on your overall time.
To prepare properly for competition, the Olympic silver medalist trains 10 times a week. Pushing himself to the limit and cultivating a strong mental approach is essential to success in the pool.
The psychological element is really important, and it's something that swimmers of all ages and all sports will work on, and it's about having that self-belief and self-confidence on race day, because I swim in an event where the gold medalist was 12/100ths of a second ahead of me, so it's a fingertip. The margins are so small and the timing is so precise that it comes down to that fine-tuning element. So I think just trying to, this effective self-talk and positive self-talk can really make a difference. I finished with a silver medal in London, which I was absolutely ecstatic with, and it was a career-long goal, but the goalposts have moved now, and come next year I would love to be on the top of that podium.